Hey Thinksters, so really quick, below 2 minutes, my goal is to show you the most important Python list methods. Okay, so what is a list? Basically, a list is a container structure. You can create a list with the square bracket operator, and now we have a list called L. And now, so what are the most important operators? So first of all, the first operator is the append operator. So we can append an element like element 2, we can append element 42 to the list, and now if you print the contents of the list, we see that in this order we have appended element 2 and element 42. So if you append another element like 3 and we print the result, then you see that now we have 3 elements, so it always appends at the end of the list. Good, so the next operator is the clear operator. So I'm just going through all the operators alphabetically. The clear operator simply removes all contents of the list, and if you print the list, you see it is empty. Okay, so now we need to like append an element again. So now our list contains element 3. Good, okay, so the next operator is the copy operator. And the copy operator simply returns a copy of the list. It's a shallow copy, which means that the elements in the list are not copied by themselves. You can see this, for example, if you have like a list L1, we add 3 elements to the list, and now we so we can print L1, and now we create a list L2, which is L1 and element 2, for example. Now we print L2, and you see that it's a list of 2 elements. One element of this is the list, and now we can create a copy. So in L3 we store a copy of L2. If you print L3, you see it contains exactly the same element as L2. And now we can basically change an element to L1, which is part of L2 and L3. Okay, now so if you print L1, it now contains 4 elements. And now if you print the contents of L3, you see it also contains 4 elements. So it changes itself. So it's a shallow copy. Basically, it has only a copy of the list. Okay, I'm already beyond 2 minutes because I know I drifted away and explained this shallow and deep copy thing. But okay, stay with me. I'll rush through the remaining methods next. Good, the count operator. So we count, for example, the number of occurrences. So let's again first print out the list L. Okay, we need to add some elements like say another element 3. If you print the list, it contains 2 elements of 3, and now we can run the count function. It counts the number of occurrences of a certain value. So for example, if we put in 3, then it counts the number of occurrences of the value 3. And you see there are 2 elements in the list. So if we print the number of occurrences of the value 1, then what would be the output? 0, yes, because there's no element 1 in our list L. Okay, the next operation is very important, and actually many Python coders don't know this method. This is really surprising to me. So they just, if they want to append some elements to a list, they call append. But there's one method extend, which just takes an iterable, and yeah, you can put in everything you want, like 9999. You can put in as an argument any iterable you want, and then it will just add all elements of the iterable. It can also be a set or something. It just has to be something where you can iterate over. And now if you check L, then it has just appended all these elements in one function called extend. So it's a much more concise way of appending multiple elements to a list. So you should know the extend method. Good. Another interesting method is the index method. It just gives you the index of a certain element, like say this 99,999. It has the index 4. If you count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this value has the 99,000 value has the index 4. Okay, then another operation is the insert. So we first specify the index where we want to insert something, say index 2. Which means that this will become the 3rd element in the list. Remember, we always count from the index 0. So the first element of the list has index 0. Okay, we insert an element at the index position 2. And which element do we insert? Say we insert say a tuple 2 2 at index 2. And now if you print 2, you see, okay, we have a list of elements, and at position 2 we have inserted our tuple. And now you can also see that the list in Python can contain heterogeneous data types. So you can put in any data type you want. Actually, the list doesn't care. Okay, then a small little operation is the pop iteration. It just removes the last element from the list and returns it, and so you can use it in your code. But then if you print the contents of the list, you see that the element is not contained in the list anymore, so it has removed. It removes and returns the last element of the list. And if you don't want to remove and return the last element, but say element at position I, then you need to use the remove method. It simply, actually no, you cannot use the index, sorry. So you need to remove a certain value. You can remove, for example, the tuple value to 2, and if you print the contents of the list, you see that the tuple value is now removed. Okay, so this remove function simply removes a value from the list, and you give the value in the argument function. Okay, then we have two methods left. First is the reverse method. So if you print L, now you see that the list, the order of the elements has reversed. Very simple to use. And the other one is the sort method. Okay, and the sort method simply sorts the element in ascending order. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for listening. So I've used 3 times the time I've announced in the beginning, but I hope it was still useful for you. See you in the next video. Bye.